No response. At 2 o'clock he said, "Centipede, let's go to lunch, I'm hungry." And the centipede says, "I heard you the first time, I'm putting on my shoes."
Silver plywood. Shoe, kitty shoe, cross, sterling silver, plywood. Did you? And that is the under the sink holder.
Those jokes I've already told you. I suppose I could tell them to you again. They're very good jokes.
Oh, no problem.
Both in form and in matter of all life on Earth is essentially identical. Also, as noted, this identity implies that all organisms on Earth are evolved from a single instance of the origin of life.
That's from the Encyclopedia Britannica. And the concept is that all life has a very, very common thread through it. Every form of life resembles, in many ways, every other form of life. And the Britannica says that this indicates that all life emanated from the same source. Who is it? That's what we call God. We don't know. Let's see, we'll hold this a minute. Hey, it's Glendora.
Hi, Glendora, it's Sandy.
Oh, hi, Sandy.
How are you?
Well, I'm very good. Are you all right?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
And where are you? In Jersey or in New York?
No, I'm in New York. I'm going back to New Jersey tomorrow.
Okay, and how is Daddy?
He's okay, Glendora.
He's just waiting. It's a waiting game now, isn't it?
Yes, somewhat. Tomorrow I take him to get a test to make sure he doesn't have the virus.
Oh, I see. Is that all the test is about?
Tomorrow, yes, that's the only one. He's done all the others now.
He's had all of the others, yes, and now he's going to go for the operation on Friday.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and how are you?
I'm good, Glendora. Yeah, I'm well, and I have the World Book here. I didn't know if you wanted to hear any of that.
Would you repeat that, please?
I have the World Book here with me. Did you want to hear any reading from the World Book?
Yes, I would. Go.
Okay.
That's very generous of you, and I want you to know how much I appreciate it. Go.
Okay.
Educate us about God and the universe. Go. Do you know the entire encyclopedia is about God? You know that everything in the library, Sandy, is about God?
Well, I know that for you, the universe and God are one. So yes, I get that.
Okay. Oh, yes, go. Go ahead. Read us.
Okay. This is about clouds.
Clouds.
Yes. Cloud is a mass of water droplets. Oh, hold on a sec. Cloud is a mass of water droplets or ice crystals so small that the tiniest puff of wind can prevent them from falling. Fluffy clouds moving across a blue sky or the colors of clouds at sunset are part of the beauty of nature. Clouds also play an important part in Earth's weather. The water that they bring as rain or snow is necessary to all forms of life. Clouds can also bring destruction or even death in the form of hail or tornadoes. Some clouds are great fleecy masses, others look like giant feathers. Still others are gray or black sheets that darken the sky. Most clouds change shape continuously as new droplets form in some parts of the cloud and droplets evaporate in others. Clouds are also change because of the action of winds and other moving air. And the next section is called kinds of clouds. Do you want to hear that?
Yes, please.
Kinds of clouds. Scientists give names to clouds that describe their appearance. For example, the prefix strato means layer-like or sheet-like. Clouds that appear as layers or sheets are called stratus clouds. The prefix cumulo means pile or heap, and cumulus clouds are piled-up masses of white clouds. The prefix cirro means curl, and cirrus clouds are curly white clouds. These terms and a few others are used to form the names of the most common clouds. The various types of clouds are grouped into different classes according to their height above the ground. Low clouds. Two kinds of clouds, stratus and stratocumulus, are seen near the Earth. The bases of most of these clouds are less than 6,000 feet above the surface. A stratus cloud looks like a smooth, even sheet. Drizzle often falls from it. A stratocumulus cloud is not as even in thickness as a stratus cloud. It has light and dark areas on the bottom, indicating, as its name suggests, that there are piles of clouds in the layer. Middle clouds, called altostratus, altocumulus, and nimbostratus, usually appear from 6,000 to 20,000 feet above the Earth. Nimbostratus clouds sometimes may be closer to the ground. An altostratus cloud forms a smooth white or gray sheet across the sky. If the cloud is not too thick, the sun may be seen through it. Altocumulus clouds appear in many shapes. They might form bands or unconnected piles. A nimbostratus cloud is a smooth layer of gray. Frequently, the cloud itself cannot be seen because of the rain or snow that is falling from it. High clouds, called cirrus, cirrostratus, and cirrocumulus, are formed entirely of ice crystals. Other clouds are mainly water droplets. Cirrus clouds are the delicate, wispy clouds that appear high in the sky, sometimes higher than 35,000 feet. A cirrostratus cloud is a thin sheet of cloud. It often causes a halo to appear around the sun or moon. This halo is a good way to recognize a cirrostratus cloud. Cirrocumulus clouds look like small bands or many small puffs of cotton hanging high in the sky. These clouds are rare. Okay, and then the next section is called clouds that grow vertically.
Well,
Do you want to hear more clouds?
what do you think? How much longer is the article?
Well, clouds that go vertically, how clouds form, clouds in the weather, cloud seeding methods.
Yes. Yes, I would like to hear how clouds form.
Okay. Clouds form from water that is evaporated from lakes, oceans, and rivers, or from moist soil and plants. The evaporated water, called water vapor, mixes with the air. Air can hold only a certain amount of water vapor at a given temperature. Warm air can hold more water vapor than cool air. When the air temperature drops to a level known as the dew point, the water vapor begins to condense, forming into tiny water droplets. The level of the dew point depends upon the amount of water vapor in the air. The more vapor, the higher the dew point. For water vapor to condense in clouds, particles so small they can be seen only through a microscope must be present. These particles, called cloud condensation nuclei, become the sensors of the droplets. Many of the nuclei from the chemical reactions involving sulfuric acid and ammonia. These nuclei include particles of ammonium sulfate and magnesium sulfate. Other condensation nuclei include tiny particles of dust and particles from smoke. Scientists are not sure whether particles of salt from ocean spray can also act as condensation nuclei. Most droplets measure from 2,500 to 250 thousandths inch across, millimeters across. Wait, 0.02 to 1/10 of a millimeter across. If the temperature is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit and other conditions are right, water vapor does not condense and form a liquid droplet. Instead, water vapor turns directly to ice through a process called deposition. The ice forms as a six-sided crystal, a miniature snow crystal. For deposition to occur at temperatures above about -40 degrees Fahrenheit, a freezing nucleus must be present. A freezing nucleus is a small particle that is similar to a cloud condensation nucleus. Most freezing nuclei are dust or tiny specks of plant debris raised by the wind. Freezing nuclei are sometimes called ice nuclei. A cloud often contains both water droplets and snow crystals. At the temperatures between 32 and -40 degrees Fahrenheit, water droplets do not always freeze at the normal freezing temperature of water. They can remain liquid down to a temperature of -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Drops of snow crystals fall when they grow too heavy to be held up by the air. Droplets grow into raindrops through the condensation of additional water vapor onto their surfaces and by combining with smaller droplets. The snow crystal can become heavy enough to fall growing as water vapor deposits onto it.
Well, I think that's
Okay.
wonderful.
Yes.
All of that is so good to know.
It was so interesting how they find it out, how they know so much about something that's so far above the earth.
That too is very interesting. Yes, the thing is how God operates and creates, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
How much?
How people discover interesting things about the creation.
Oh yes, that's very true, and how you and I read about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and as we see in a mirror dimly, right? But then we shall see face to face.
Yes. Right.
Yes,
And wearing a mask. Okay. Yes. How much longer is this lovely article? This is from the World Book Encyclopedia.
Well, there's a lot about clouds. There's a whole other page about clouds.
Okay. Let's reserve on that. Can you bookmark it?
Sure.
Okay. And where are we going to pick up? What's the next topic?
The next topic, you can hear more about clouds with cloud seeding, or you can go on to cloud bursts or clouded leopards.
And will that do it? That'll take care of the article? That will finish it? That will finish it?
Oh, well, to take care of the article on clouds, you go to clouds and the weather and cloud seeding method and cloud bursts. That would take care of the article.
Okie doke. Well, gee, I want to thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah. So what's new over there, Glendora? Pat came yesterday?
Yes, Pat came yesterday. And she read me a thing from the Encyclopedia Britannica. That's another encyclopedia we're reading, along with Compton's with Wayne over in Pittsfield. But her Encyclopedia Britannica said that nobody can define what life is. None of our great intellects can define what life is.
Interesting.
They don't,
Yeah.
and it's true. You know, here was .com, beautifully alive, and then all of a sudden her life is gone. Where did it go? Where did it go?
Yeah.
And
Well, that energy still exists, right? The energy that is contained in a life form does not evaporate. It's absorbed back into the universe.
yes, it did. It did. It did. It went away.
It went away from your ability to perceive it.
Yes.
Went away, but the energy itself is still there.
Sure. Sure. I think so, because it's some of God.
Right.
I think so.
So we're all absorbed back into God.
Yes, that's right. And that's
Right.
recycling is what it is.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Well, what did one wall say to the other?
What's your one wall facing the other?
I'll meet you at the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I put that one on my webpage.
Yep, and here's another one for your children. Teacher, what month has 28 days? Boy, they all do.
Oh, yeah.
They all do, honey.
Yeah, did that kid get sent to the principal for being a wise guy?
Say that again?
I said, did that boy get sent to the principal for being a wise guy?
Yeah, yeah. Right.
So the kind of kid that outsmarts the teacher.
And as a teacher, you've had that happen to you?
Oh my gosh, sure. But I usually laugh though. I don't usually get mad.
No.
You gotta acknowledge intelligence where you find it.
Yes, right. Well, listen, thank you so much for calling.
All right, Glendora, I'll keep you posted. Now, are Di and Sue coming tonight?
Oh, yes, I think so. They said they would.
Wonderful, that's wonderful. Tell them that I'm very appreciative.
I will do that, and I'll also give you a report after they come.
All right, thank you.
Now, you're going to New Jersey when next?
First thing tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right, honey. One day at a time. I'll call you down. I'll call you down there.
All right, Glendora. Talk to you soon.
And tell your daddy, may the peace of God, which passes all understanding, dwell in his heart and mind. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
All right, Glendora. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, dear. That's one of my best friends, Sandy Blakeman McLean. She's a Montessori school teacher, first grade, second grade, and third grade. She's a great asset. She's a treasure. Sandy and Pat Nichols and Sue Casey and Alyssa Blakeman McLean and Madeline Chapin. That's the inner cycle. And oh yes, and Wayne Collins and Timothy Owen. Well, we have a list here to help us get together and be stimulated and enjoy our oneness, allness, and wholeness with God.
2. If truly only one sort of life on earth exists, then perspective is lacking in a most fundamental way. On the other hand,
I would recommend that article from the Britannica on life. That's the introduction to it. Okay, fast forward. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5.
Dan Smith and college bread.
A man says, "You remind me of Dan Smith." And the other man says, "I am not a thing like Dan Smith." The man says, "Oh yes you are, you both owe me $10. Daddy, what does college bread mean? A 4-year loaf made out of the old man's dough.
You have to bear with me while I find it. Here it is. And I scribbled them down so fast in pencil.
Okay. This is Wayne Collins reminding us of the jokes that are going to be in the vegan commercials to help the animals the first week of August on Channel 6, CBS News, 6:30 p.m.
Had to go over them later in pen so that I'd be able to drink what I had.
I don't know how he can take them down so fast.
I've been able to read them. They were pretty
Yes, my neighbor was elected mayor of our village, and so we had a reception, coffee and cake, and people came and enjoyed it, and they all left. And I was in the last 2 or 3 people to leave. And as we looked through the glass door into the village hall, here is the mayor with the vacuum, and he's cleaning up the crumbs in the hall. And his wife said, "New mayor makes clean sweep at village hall."
Are you ready?
Yep.
Yes. Oh, okay. Number 180, that was an orange outfit.
Okay.
Did you start? You recorded yet?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Number 180, that was an orange. They had the new mayor, he had the neighbors, and yeah, coffee and cake, and then it was the new mayor had to clean up. There was something about a new mayor sweeps clean.
Let's see, just a minute, honey, I can get that for you.
The time is 2 p.m. Hourly reminder.
Makes clean sweep of City Hall.
Yeah. And then we got number 181, also orange outfit, and then Barbara is talking with his customer who's going to Rome. And
Where are you going for your vacation? I'm going to Rome. This is the barber talking to his customer, barber. Well, you won't like Rome. The beds are hard, the food is no good, and you never get to see the Pope. Well, the young man was disheartened, but he decided to go anyway. And when he got back, the barber said, "Where did you go on your vacation?" And the young man said, "I went to Rome. The beds were very comfortable, the food was delicious, and I got to see the Pope." The barber says, "You got to see the Pope? What did he say to you?" And the young man said, "He pat me on the head 3 times, and then he said, 'Where did you get that haircut?'"
that Barbara is saying the Pope, and they got talking, and finally he said, "Well, what did the Pope say?" And the last thing he said was, "Where
So terrible. Just,
did you get that haircut?"
yeah, just amazed. Where did you get that haircut? Thank you, good.
Okay, number 182, orange outfit again. The mother tells her son money doesn't grow on trees.
Then how come banks have branches? Money doesn't grow on trees, son. Well, son, how come banks have branches?
And he said, "Then why do banks have branches?" There's another joke there. Is everything in life set straight? You don't have to be proctoring. You don't have to be proctored to take a gamble.
You don't have to be proctor to take a gamble.
Is why did the trumpet player practice in the closet? He was a private tutor.
Why did the trumpet player practice in the closet? He was a private tutor.
Now, in 183, the jokes were repeated, so apparently that one was canceled.
Oh, good for them.
It was a repeat.
I didn't have
We don't like to
time
repeat
write
them.
what the jokes were, but they were, I think, some of them from the one day before, but they were a repeat. So we go to 184, also orange outfit. When a bride wears white, it means happiness and joy, so why is the groom wearing black? And then about the twins were named Joyce and Rejoice.
What?
And then the third joke, husbands are like wine that
And the woman said, "If I'd known that, I'd kept mine in the cellar."
age, and the woman said that I should have kept him in the cellar. And then you had a couple of extra days in August, apparently. Again, an orange outfit. The husband said you look the same as you did 25 years ago, and the wife said I should. I'm wearing the same dress. And there was the other one you gave was the fortune teller escaped from jail. So in the paper they put small, medium, and large.
Well, you're amazing how you could take that all down. And you got them all just right.
I'm scribbling very fast because she gets them to me pretty fast.
Well,
So,
sure.
Boy, you're fat.
That would
Boy,
be
you're
Channel
smart to take
6.
those all down.
Christine
Well,
gives them to
more.
him.
For August, number 186, the outfit is black. And
They couldn't find a rope to hang the man. And the man said, no noose is good noose.
The no noose is good news. Yeah, they couldn't find it. They couldn't find a rope, honey. Yes. And the boy was asked by the teacher, if you reach in your left pocket, you have $22, and you reach in your right pocket, you have $42, $44. What do you have? And he said, someone else's pants. Yeah, that's a good one.
Somebody else's pants on.
Number 187, the outfit is black, and the counterfeiter went into the bank, and he said, I'd like change for an $18 bill. And the teller said, would you like 2 9s or 3 6s? That's good, isn't it? Yes. Second joke. The husband said, this donut is so stale, it could walk over to the coffee and say hello. And the wife said, well, the coffee's too weak to answer. Okay, number 188. Let's see, the person that the man has asked, can't you get along without the crutches? He said, the doctors.
Yeah. Can't you get along without those crutches? And the man says, my doctor says I can, but my lawyer says I can't.
The lawyer says I can. Very good one. Next joke was, old maid takes a paper for a husband, and she got 100 replies. They all said the same thing. You can have mine. Well, the best, yep. So, that's the... well, that is amazing how you took those all down. I don't see how you did it.
Well, now,
Well, I'm glad I never recorded. Thanks. I'm going to stop the recording.
that brings us to a very, very nice thing for you to remember, for me with you. Thank you, Wayne Collins in Pittsville. Do your good works. Shine your good works before people so they may see them. So that they may glorify your Father in heaven. Your good works shining before people and people seeing them, the applause doesn't go to you. Where does it go, honey? It goes to our Dad in heaven. It goes to that oneness, that allness, that wholeness.